I think the mark of a good journalist, whether a photojournalist or a written journalist, is empathy. The ability to really get into somebody's head and to make those people feel that you actually care about what they're saying. Diana could deal on a one-to-one level with the people she was photographing. She really got the truth out of them. She made them sort of appear and let their personalities come through.
I first met Diana when she called to make an appointment to show me her portfolio. Not only is she very personable, but I loved her work, and I could tell that she would be really good with people, which has certainly proved to be true.
As journalists, we don't aspire to be or shouldn't be friends with the people we're covering or subjects. But what she reversed was that her subjects wanted to be friends with her.
I sent her out to photograph this brash young computer wizard, Steve Jobs, and they forged a lifelong friendship that started with those photo shoots.
When I was doing the biography of Steve Jobs, I went through all of her pictures and I realized that the main photo section in the book should simply be Diana Walker's photographs.
I would say that Diana's pictures of Steve have more emotion, more personal resonance, more depth than any other pictures of him. And I think that was because they had a good relationship and he also wanted to seem that way to her. That's what happens when you're photographed by Diana.
We saw how talented she was, and we started to have her work in politics, covering people in Washington, and eventually talked our boss into giving her a contract and putting her on the White House, which is where she belonged.
There are so many photojournalists who cover the White House. It's rare to get the kind of special access that Diana frequently was given by White Houses from, I think going all the way back to Gerald Ford.
The first thing you notice about Diana, even when she's dressed in full photographer's garb, is there's a elegant or regal part of her. And you got to measure that against the 50 other people trooping around who've been doing it for, year after year after year, who all look like warmed over death. And Diana walks in looking like, the valet had dressed her in the morning and everything's perfect.
You just felt comfortable with her being around in your presence. She's got this kind of feline movement. She moves like a cat, and you sort of quietly stalking her prey, I guess. You just sort of look up, and then suddenly she was there, and she was capturing an image that was, very, very memorable.
Politics is such that not every photographer from every agency or magazine can be inside. There's just too many people, and somebody like Diana is just extremely good at being that kind of person who can go into a room and kind of disappear. And those are when the real pictures get made.
In many ways, she actually created the behind-the-scenes photojournalism style, which time has used forever.
The real story is how she got there, though. Not that she knew where to stand to take the pictures, how she actually got into the room. The thing she probably said to me 1,000 times was, "You won't even know I'm there. You won't even know I'm there." And, the results speak for themselves.
She took the reader places that the reader could never go. And even she took me places, even when I was on the same trip, that I hadn't been able to go.
She gained the respect of the White House press corps, and I think she outshot those boys on the bus every time.
Without Diana, time would not have been so intimate. Made you feel up close and personal with the people that we were writing about.
She has just wonderful moments that are so real, so human, and those are treasures.
I think it may be true that her images of Bill Clinton are just so unusual and so remarkable because he had total trust in her. He was very comfortable. I think he was more comfortable with her than with a lot of the staff people who worked for him.
There's one we call Deep Breath, where he's just all puffed up, ready to go give his acceptance speech at the convention. The one at the inauguration of the family, which was very special, which he loved and kept on his desk at the White House. He and Hillary on the boat with this very quiet moment where they're holding hands, and this was after the Monica Lewinsky thing broke and he was trying to redeem himself.
There weren't 1,000 photographers on that trip. There was Diana. And she is trustworthy, charming, smart, and a damn good photographer. And all of those things coming together mean that people have a great deal of trust and faith in her ability to play straight with them, and that they know that, at the same time, she's going to get the picture. So, I mean, it's really fun to see her work when she's kind of burrowed into some story that everybody else is on the outside of the door or outside the wall or outside the compound, and Diana is in working it.
You know, if you believed in your candidate, if you really did believe in your candidate or your president, you wanted Diana to see as much as you could. If you didn't, the door closed.
Diana's expression is through a camera, through a machine, to give you a moment in history that 1,000 people could shoot at the exact same time and not get what she saw.
She's going to end up seeing the best thing in a way, even if it's not flattering. It's the best thing because it's the human thing and it's the truthful thing.
It is art. It is history. It is lasting.
It's not easy to get behind the curtains at the White House and to find out what's going on the inside. And so the fact that she did that and did that successfully over a span of a career really, really deserves recognition.
Thank you, my friend, for all you've done to capture the history of our time. We really do appreciate you.
Thanks for making me look good, Lady Di. I love and miss you.
Diana, thanks. And congratulations on receiving the Brendan Hayden Lifetime Achievement Award. No one could deserve it more.